Hey Bella friends, I wanted to talk about a new product. This one requires instructions. This one is called it's a King Family Vineyards here in Penticton. I've done it Ancestral method many times before, but this year I left the sediment in, and as you can see on the bottom there, I lowered the pressure, but it still is going to lift the sediment. And the reason I left the sediment in is you'll see it's got such beautiful acidity that I think the lees help bring this wine more into balance. And I love the textural feel of it. It almost imparts almost like a saline or saltiness to the wine too that I just love. So, but when you open this, the only trick is either putting a cap on it right away and letting all the lees integrate, or pouring out your first glass or two and then even being able to compare both cloudy versus uncloudy version. So that's the way I like to do it. It's a bit of a showpiece, but yeah. So same wine, you can see the sediment in the bottom. This needs to be clear. If it's not settled down and it's quite cloudy, it's going to gush. If it's too warm, it's going to gush. So my advice, at least a day ahead, is throw this in the fridge, make sure it's settled out and clear, and then should be no problem. Okay. So you pour your first one off till it starts to get cloudy. And then you'll see at this point, it's just starting to mix everything up. If it wants to push on it, just throw your thumb on it for a second. And you'll see it's all starting to mix up. And a little trick is if you always keep a bubble bottle on the side, if it is wanting to gush, it's harder for it to foam than if it's standing straight up. So when we're disgorging, this is a little trick we do while we're burping it. But you'll see now it's really starting to get integrated. And just give it a second. Pour out another glass if you like. Now you'll see the difference. Once it's below the shoulder, it won't gush on you either. So now you can kind of see the two, right? So this is, for me, the funnest way to try, because then you can try it without lees, with lees, and you'll see that difference and why we designed the wine this way. It's just, for me, trying to be, like, the focus with bubbles is just to keep it, I should say the focus with bubbles has been to always, create these really stable, secure sort of issues so they aren't exploding on you, which I totally get. But lately, the last couple of years, it's been about trying to really pay more attention to the palate and that experience, and bringing the effervescence is just part of that equation when it comes to balancing out that experience with a sparkling wine. So that's why I'm always sort of testing to see what works best. I'm lowering pressures because I want more of an experience on the palate. You may have had bubbles in the past where they're so effervescent they don't really taste anything. So they can actually, wipe out flavor there as well. So for me, it's about trying to really harness that experience so everything comes together and works and complements each other. And that's what I think this is.